My name is KK Ao. My comment is on the Auditor General. Under the Constitution, as I understand it, I'm not a lawyer, the Auditor General is required to audit the government departments, and he's supposed to prepare a report, submit it to the Agong, and the Agong cause it to be tabled at the Dewan Raya. Now I read that under the C4 report, they are allowed to access the OSA issues, OSA information, but they cannot report. Does that mean they are not following the Constitution? It's very straightforward. Our Constitution says you must prepare, report, table. Now they can audit, cannot report. Something is terribly wrong. Thank you.
Gentlemen, I always carry this great note in my phone when I come to issues on information and secrets. It's from the Ministry of Justice, UK, dated 10th of November 2010. That's when I was serving in UK. Subject: Freedom of Information. Dear Mr. Nadeswaran, thank you for your correspondence of November 9. Right, that means they replied 1 day later, in which you asked for information relating to Malaysian nationals in UK prisons under the Freedom of Information Act, blah, 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 blah. You will receive a response from us by December 6. Your request will be passed to the appropriate business unit within the Ministry of Justice, and they will write to you with a decision by this date. And goes on to them. This is how it works. I got the reply, the full reply, on December the 6th. That's how fast and how efficient. Sorry, November the 16th, not the 6th. Now compare this with the days when I was chasing the infamous Zacharias Palace, Klang Town Council, Majelis Perbandaran Klang. And you ask them, ini bangunan ni ada seranta dia punya plan untuk bina. And the guy is telling me, mana satu bangunan? And cameraman was there, showed him the photographs. And he was still trying to hide information. Takkan you tak tahu ni, that the man was also on the counter. Takkan you tak tahu ni, ini Istana Zakaria dekat Kampung Idaman. And that was how difficult it was to get information. Has anything changed? I think nothing much has been changed despite the FOI in Selangor. Previously I could go to the PJ Municipal Council, or now the PJ City Council, inspect the minutes of the meeting under the Local Government Act. Any ratepayer is allowed to inspect. Now I've got to fill up a form and pay a fee. That's not a big deal. But if you go and ask information as to the successful tenderer for this project or that project, we find great difficulty. The information officers, as Hana has admitted, have not been trained. Now, having said that, one of the most trying things at these times is a lack of transparency within the Public Accounts Committee. We journalists can't get in there. Don't know what's happening there, who's asking questions, what questions being asked. Compared to Selangor, which has been very open, congratulations. I think I've been there enough times to see hear the nonsense of Kirtoyo and his wife and everyone else. Okay? And one very important thing maybe Hana would be able to look into and help us is this alienation of state land. Why should it be a state secret? Right? So much of state land has been alienated to friends, cronies, and brother-in-laws, uncles, sisters, and everything else. Why can't it be legislated that any asset belonging to the state, which is alienated to a third party, must be made public? That's very important, and it will stop corruption and not only corruption, accusations of partisan politics and favoritism and everything else. And finally, I must confess, I sit on the advisory panel, prevention panel of the MACC, and so far the OSA has not affected me in my work. Thank you very much.
I just want to comment on the Public Accounts Committee's hearing that it should be made public. In Selangor, we only have one select committee so far empowered to do public hearing, allowed to which is CellCat. PAC also cannot. But moving forward, I think with the whole argument about PAC in Parliament and 1MDB hearing, how it should be made public, I think for the Selangor State Assembly, we will be looking into this to see how we can probably empower all to do public hearings. Yeah. And on the compulsory disclosure on land alienation, I think that's a good proposal. I will pass it to we have a select committee for land officers led by the Deputy Speaker, and we can see, what is the best way to have this passed as law. Thank you.
The issue of the OSA, what I would like to say is this, the OSA has not prevented the MACC from doing its work, and today the MACC is a government department that epitomizes accountability and transparency. We have a large number, 40 over members of the civil society in the who monitors and supervises the MACC. For instance, in the conduct of our investigations, all investigation papers, once the public prosecutor has made a decision not to prosecute where we feel there is a case, these are presented to the members of the civil society. Official secret or no official secret, we present it to them and let them have a say on what are their views, whether they feel there is a need for review of the investigation papers. The MACC have taken the courageous step. For instance, we have even offered, even Nadeswaran is now inside the MACC. I do not know whether I should say this. Even I believe Ambigger, we offer her to be in the advisory board too. But of course, she has a reason of not taking it up. So we are really open. I believe we are the most open today of all government institutions. The thing is, if we can do so, why can't others? Thank you.